My name is Barry Allen. And I am the fastest man alive.
Listen to me. There's a war coming. A terrible war.
You have failed this city.
And I'm here with my lovely and talented co-host, Charles.
Aw,
Hi,
you're
Charles.
so sweet. Hello. How are you, Karen?
I'm fine. And you
With your-
guessed what my figurine was.
Your awesome Corinthian.
That's right. It is
Is that
not
its little-
John Constantine.
Little statuette. You
That's
think you're
right.
going to... I know the difference between the Corinthian and the John
No,
Constantine.
I know you do. But a
Yeah.
lot of people think that this is John Constantine upon first glance, and it is not. It is the Corinthian from the Sandman comic books.
Foolish mortals.
That's right. Oh,
Yeah.
the nagging feeling I had might be that my husband is cooking popcorn in the other room.
Oh. Yeah, you might want... Yeah, Karen was having a very, I sense a disturbance in the force
Yes.
kind of moment.
Yes, it actually made me pause. Gave me pause a moment ago.
As if a million souls suddenly cried out and
Shrieked.
wanted popcorn.
That's right. I'm smelling it right now.
I don't blame you.
What a demon he is to be cooking popcorn when I can't have any.
That's a total dick move right there.
It is a dick move. It is. What a dick move. You're right. So anyway, hi everyone.
Well, poor Karen is stuck for an hour and a half talking to yours truly.
And I have another podcast tonight. So
Oh.
yeah, the Orphan Black podcast after this.
Oh, I still need to watch that episode because I didn't get to watch it yesterday because I was away at
Spoiler
the
alert, it's
Cleveland
good.
Indians, Cleveland Indians ball game. So it's good.
It's good. You'll enjoy it.
Good. Any Allison moments?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
Allison and Helena interacting.
Now, see, that is cool because those two have never really paired off together.
Allison
So-
and Donnie and Helena interacting.
All right. Don't tell
Have
me
I
more.
sold you?
I was sold a minute.
Okay.
You said Allison and Helena.
Okay, good. I think
All
you
right.
will enjoy it.
Okay,
Now,
so
mind you, that's not the main story, but it's pretty good.
That's okay as long as it's in there.
Okay. So anyway, this is episode 12 of the Fandom Zone. And
Yay.
tonight we will be talking about two comic book series. One of them...
Well, it's not quite the count, but
No, close
it'll do
enough.
A pitch.
Yeah.
It'll do a pitch.
iZombie, which is the 12th episode of the first season, the penultimate episode. Is it
Yes.
not?
It is of this first season.
Of the first season, yes. Yay.
Yay, because we'll be back presumably in the fall.
In the fall, yes.
So maybe we'll get a full 23 episode
Oh, God, I hope so.
season.
Yeah, because people really love this show.
Yep.
And Daredevil, Marvel's Daredevil.
I just call it Daredevil.
I
Screw
know,
that.
me too.
I don't call it Marvel's Agents of Shield.
Me
It's
either,
Agents
or
of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Marvel's Agent Carter either. They're
or the
all
Marvel-
Marvels.
Or Marvel's The Avengers. Forget it, Marvel. Drop that possessive crap.
I know, I don't get it. I
don't
really
get it
don't
either.
get it. It's
I don't-
Daredevil.
I don't indulge.
And, the one thing I would call it might be Netflix Daredevil.
Ooh.
Might be, because it's not on TV.
Mm.
It's on Netflix. I'm sorry, that's HBO.
You just stole their tagline.
I did, I totally did. So we'll be talking about Daredevil episode 9, Speak of the Devil. And that is also season 1, because there will be season 2 of that as well.
Yay!
Which is both awesomeness.
And that can't get here soon enough.
No, tomorrow would be good.
There's so many people that I know are just like, all right, where is it? Film it now.
I know. Well,
Get this. They still got to shoot it.
I'm putting my hand up right now.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
Besides, we've got Jessica Jones coming up.
Yeah.
So I wanna check out Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
So
There's so many other things that will come
Mm-hmm.
in between now and season 2 of Daredevil. I'm cool.
yeah.
So we'll be talking about those two shows. I'll let you pick. Flip a coin. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Well, last week we talked about Daredevil first, so why
So-
don't we talk about iZombie first?
iZombie. Okay. So shall we talk about the late Liv, as she was referred to by Clive?
Yeah, in Dead Rat, Live Rat, Brown Rat, White Rat.
Yeah. Oh,
Huh?
you did better than me. I'm glad you said it and not me.
That's a long title.
It is dead rat, live rat, brown rat, right, white rat. Yeah, I did the same thing. It's hard to say.
I said White Rat. I
And
didn't. Haha.
It made complete sense because yes, that was the order in which we saw them.
Right.
We saw first of all Hope. He named the rat Hope.
Oh, isn't
So
that sad?
sweet.
And then Liv said, so brilliantly deadpanned, Hope's dead.
How apt.
Yep.
Yeah, and then we saw it as a live rat and a brown rat at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turned it into a white rat. And he said, "It's dead," which was fantastic.
As opposed to, it's alive.
Exactly.
It's alive. Yeah. Nice twist.
I think Ravi stole this episode.
He has his moments. I'll give you that.
He was great. He said, "Be." What was it that he said? Be.
Line.
Yeah, I can't remember. He said like be serious, serious.
Oh,
Or
yeah,
whatever
yes,
it was.
yes.
I can't remember.
Right.
What it was.
Because he was making fun of
The
Liv's
cheerleaders.
cheerleader persona.
Right. I mean, that was just a killer line.
Yeah.
And the whole interchange between him and Major,
Mm-hmm.
where he was like, I need to ask you a question. And Major's like, oh, that doesn't sound good. I don't want this to be like me feeling for lumps or anything. And, the whole back and forth and, him saying something and Major finishing the sentence and then him saying something and Major finishing. I mean, it was just brilliant. So, I mean, if I had to give an award for this episode, it would be a tough choice between Rose McIver and I can't remember the man who plays Ravi's name. Do you know his name?
Oh, not offhand.
Yeah,
I
I should
know
have
this.
looked it up.
He's been in here the whole season. We should
I
know this.
know. Oh, that's terrible. I know his name too.
Embarrassment.
Yeah. Anyway, that actor,
We hang our heads in shame.
I would put both of their names because Rose McIver was fantastic in this episode as well.
Yeah, because she gets not one but two brains.
Right, and then the whole scene with Peyton
Yeah.
at the end was amazing as well. So, okay, so let's talk about the episode. The murder victim, the first murder victim, and they have 3 in this episode.
But to be fair, the first one was already dead. Does that count?
Yeah. Well, we're not
Okay.
talking about the zombie.
Okay.
We're talking about the cheerleader, the aunt,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
because
Okay.
she was a murder
I
victim.
thought you were talking about,
No.
okay.
The cheerleader, because the aunt does come into play.
Yeah.
And the aunt and then the stoner, or
Nate.
whichever
Yeah.
way they.
Yeah.
I think Nate was last because Aunt Edna just was a kind of slide in, and then she was mentioned later in the episode. So we get the cheerleader, who is a Christian cheerleader, who is a tag along with the 3 members of this band, the
Asshats.
Ass Hats. Thank you.
Asshats. Which is a great name for a band.
Fantastic name.
Yeah.
And of course, one of the band members might look familiar to those of you who watch
Yes.
comic book shows.
Such as Arrow, perhaps.
That's right. It was Sin from Arrow.
Bex Taylor Klaus.
That's right.
Yeah.
And she was also on The Killing, and she was also on like several other really popular shows. So,
But she's Sin, and she looks exactly
Sin.
like her Arrow. She looks exactly like her Arrow character.
yes,
So it's
exactly.
it's basically like if Sin left Starling City, went to Seattle, hooked up with like these losers, and formed a garage band.
Yep. And then she's gonna go back to Arrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Provided she survives this episode. Dun dun dun.
See, now I added that clip to the thing, and now
And
all
you-
my things are. Sorry, I added a clip to the soundboard and the soundboard.
It's all my fault.
No, it's just the buttons are in different places now. So, hold on a minute.
What is this bizarre segue that's happening right now? Can we maybe stay on point?
So anyway,
Yes. Yeah, that's gonna be our new favorite soundbite.
yeah, you guys want to hear that a few times.
It's so us. If you've listened to the Fandom Zone podcast before, and chances are you know that we tend to digress a little bit,
A lot.
a wee bit.
So that's staying on the soundboard, just so you guys know. It's definitely staying there.
That's our digression alert.
That's right. So this cheerleader is hanging with the asshats, and they've stolen a car.
Yep.
And the headlights are off, and they're all stoned.
Right.
That doesn't make for wacky hijinks in the least, right?
No. Especially when you're doing I know what you did last summer reset. No.
They are really the dumb asshats, right? You see what I did there?
I see what you
So
did there.
they're out driving, and it looks like they're driving fast with no headlights on while they're stoned down a country road.
In the middle of nowhere.
Right. At night. And they, of course, hit someone.
Thump, thump.
And in the grand tradition of television shows, which use tropes all the time,
Yes.
it just happens to be the guy that Liv has turned into a zombie.
2 episodes ago.
Right.
Sebastian.
The Max Rager
Yeah.
cleaner, I guess, would be what he
Played
is.
by Matthew McCall.
Yes. So now he made his brief return in this episode. Return and bow as well.
Right.
So they hit him. They decide this night never happened. They're going to bury this guy.
Oh crap. And little Miss Princess.
Because she's a Christian, she wants to put a cross on the grave. Why don't we
Kimber.
just put our IDs on the grave too?
Yeah. And everybody, especially Sin.
Yeah,
is
I'm gonna
looking
call
at
her Sin.
Sin, and the character's name is Teresa, but
I
she's
know.
Sin.
She's
All right.
Sin.
Sin. Sin is looking at Kimber.
Yeah, Kimber. Yeah.
And thinking she's completely stupid and
Well, she is.
out of her mind, and she is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as she is saying this, when they could have just been hauling ass, Sebastian comes out of the ground, breaks her neck. She's gone.
He's out of the ground like daisies.
That's right, like daisies. No, not like daisies. But hey, whatever. And he eats her brains, I'm sure. And right. And that gets him to a good place where he's more like Sebastian, I guess, and he can stumble over to his aunt's house. And that will come up later in the show. And, she's left in the woods where she's found. And then, there's the crime scene and she's the first dead body.
A dog finds her and is carrying out her foot.
Ugh.
And has his foot in her mouth. So that's a case of foot and mouth disease. Oh, I had to go there. Done. Come on, that was good. There you go.
How's that? I don't know. I'm torn between the two.
All right.
So, yeah. Okay, so there's the crime scene. There's a lot of wacky jokes
Yeah.
at the crime scene.
Because these guys are the most hilarious coroners ever.
I know.
Yeah. These are the coroners you want.
It's the late Liv Moore.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How'd you know? Of course she doesn't say that. But now the police, Clive, is asking questions, and the coroners are deliberately lying to him. Deliberately lying.
Breaking the law.
Yeah. It's a good thing that these coroners are the ones that get assigned to his cases, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or else he would know by now that there are zombies.
Now, do you think at this point Clive has any clue? Because
Come
he's been walking into the coroner's office and picking up little bits of food.
Absolutely not.
Liv's
and
been
now
sprinkled with brains.
he's a cannibal now.
Yeah.
Gross, right?
Well, he's not deliberately a cannibal.
No, but he is.
He's an accidental cannibal.
Still, he is.
Okay.
He's
well,
eating brains.
I would think in the cannibal hierarchy,
He's the
accidental
lowest.
cannibal, is better than deliberate cannibal.
Of course it's better than.
Okay.
But he's still a cannibal, nevertheless. Don't you think so? He's eating human brains.
Technically.
Yeah. Did you not hear that urban tale? And
Oh, that urban tale. Yes, I've heard
What
that.
is this bizarre segue that's happening right now? Can we maybe stay on point?
there's an urban tale, and it's not true in the least. But a man who was shipwrecked goes to a restaurant for his first meal when he gets back, and he orders seagull.
Mm-hmm.
And the people say, well, we don't have seagull on the menu. And he says, I'll pay you whatever you need, but I'd like you to get a seagull and cook it for me. And they cook him a seagull, and they bring it out to his table. And he eats a bite of it, and he breaks down crying.
Okay.
And then he leaves the restaurant. And they ask, well, why? Why did you break down crying? And he said, because it doesn't taste like what I ate on the island.
Ba-dum-bum-tsh.
No.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
Yes.
saying, though? Because
Yeah.
it means he ate
He was a cannibal.
people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was an unknowing cannibal, too, but still, he knew he was a cannibal, right? I mean,
Okay, but I don't think that's quite the same situation as Clive.
it's definitely not, but still, he thought they were mushrooms. It's disgusting.
Well,
So anyway.
I think mushrooms are disgusting anyway.
Okay, I'm hanging up on you right now.
Well, I'm sorry, I do. It's
Right now. No caffeine after 5, and you don't like mushrooms.
That's not my fault.
We are so incompatible. This is not
Sorry.
right. So anyway, okay, so they hold things back from him, and of course one of the things she has to do is eat this decayed, because it's been a couple weeks, right?
Right.
Since they found her body. Decayed brain, and it's in cold Mexican chocolate milk. And of course Mexican chocolate milk has spices in it,
Right.
which is why she chose Mexican chocolate milk.
Yeah.
It's very good, actually. And she drinks it, and it's hilarious.
Yes.
And go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say because Liv delivers one of my favorite quotes of this episode.
Okay.
At this point,
Okay.
after she's eaten Kimber's brain and taken on that high school cheerleader persona.
Mm-hmm.
So Liv says, it's hard not to feel like you've peaked when you're doing shots of 2-week-old liquefied prom queen brains in cold Mexican hot chocolate.
Very nice.
So I just thought that was
I
brilliant.
like that line very much. You're
Yeah.
right. And then, of course, she just starts in. I mean, it takes effect almost immediately. And she starts in with well, you can only do as good as you can do. And you can only try as hard as you could try. And
Yeah.
Robbie's like, I am trying as hard as I could try. Well, that's all you could do. And he says, you're full of pep. Yes, I am.
And Robbie's like, I'm going to step over here
Yeah,
now.
he doesn't like that Liv at all.
No.
But he does like making fun of her, which
Yes.
I dig.
Mm-hmm.
And this pep comes in handy when she goes to the precinct because they're questioning one of Liv's best friends. And the best friend cannot relate to Clive. She's not going to open up to Clive. But Liv, of course, has this personality that can open up to her. And she's like, come on, you knew where she went. She would tell you, you're totally her best friend and all that. And like, she would totally
Yes.
tell you, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
like,
That was that whole interrogation thing,
mm-hmm.
which I thought was brilliant because she's talking about like, oh, we could sit down and we could have like ex-boyfriend gossips, sesh and froyo, and
Right.
I just thought it was hilarious.
Well, the one thing that I liked is she sat down, she pulled up a chair and sat down next to her and she said, you think you're helping Kimber? But she's dead, so you totally can't. And I was like, yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So she gets this girl to open up to her, and this is where they find out that she was hanging out with this band. And they pull in, they go to the storage unit.
Mhm. Well, before that though, Tate, that girl,
Mm-hmm.
she plays this message
Mm-hmm.
that Kimber left for her,
Mm-hmm.
and talks about seeing Hottie McBody
Which is the gross one.
and maybe taking the oral exam.
Ugh.
So I was like, hey now.
I pressed the button. It wasn't working before.
Oh yeah.
The oral exam, gross.
The oral exam.
And
which
you
is
know
like,
what?
I think that might be the first DC Comics show that's ever talked about
An oral
an oral
exam.
exam. Yeah.
Okay.
So well done there.
I kind of figured out that she was with the Scooby guy,
Yeah.
but it hadn't really registered until he died.
So Nate is Shaggy.
And just, yeah, Shaggy. And just somewhere in there, I thought she was with the other guy.
Oh, Cameron.
Right, because they said Hottie McBody. And then
Yeah.
they got to the thing, and I'm like, she's with Nate?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, as Liv did explain,
Yeah,
though,
girls don't make
high
good
school girls don't
decisions.
make good high school girls don't make good decisions.
No, they do not. I can attest to that.
I will take your word on that because as I
You
remember
were not a high school girl?
my high school experience was not that of a high school girl. So yeah.
You knew high school girls, though.
Sadly.
Yeah.
No, they didn't want to know me, but
You were pretty stupid.
yeah.
Yeah.
So.
But I had a college boyfriend, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, all the cool high school girls had college boyfriends,
Well, I guess so. I wasn't cool, though.
so, which makes the college boyfriends like, rapists, technically. Because dating underage girls.
He was 17.
Okay, so he was underage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until he turned 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to address that. But
well, now.
I will say that I was kind of a chorus geek we called it MGM, Mentally Gifted Minors Program. It's called something else now.
I'm sure it is.
But but we were actually kind of cool. We weren't like outcast. But I also played sports, so I was a jock too. I
That's
have a
good.
letter jacket. So,
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
No, I also shattered my leg.
Well,
so
yeah.
that is why I am this now.
Well, what? Lovely and charming.
Yeah, right. That is why I do not play sports now. Let's
I
put
think
it
you're
that
lovely
way.
and charming.
Well, thank you. But that is why I do not play sports now.
Well, I don't play them either, but
Yeah, I played sand volleyball, and I got a hairline fracture in my leg. I didn't know it, and I twisted my ankle and crack all the way up my leg. From
ouch.
ankle to halfway up. So,
Ouch.
yeah, that was not good. That was not a good day. But anyway, yeah. I do have a letter jacket, which is cool.
Okay.
And but I can attest to the fact that high school girls suck at decision making. And unfortunately for Kimber and for Sin, their sucking came out very badly.
Phrasing. Are we not doing phrasing?
Yep. I think it came out very badly. And it all stemmed from that one oral exam they took.
Well, that at least Kimber took.
Or might have.
Might have.
Might
yeah.
have. Who knows?
Yeah, because she did say she was maybe taking it.
Right. And I think Sin has taken it several times, if you ask me. But whatever.
All right.
So
We're going in a really weird direction on this show.
yeah, but I'm just saying it.
I know. That's okay.
That's the kind of people I think we're dealing with here.
And Rob is has his hand nervously over the edit button.
Don't worry, Rob. So,
Yeah.
but I'm making a point here is that Sin, when she goes in to talk to them after they pick them up, she's very hesitant to talk to them, and she describes the guy, and they get a drawing of him, and Liv realizes that it's Sebastian, and they're gonna send home a policeman to watch over her, but she gets a text from what's his name, Connor.
Yeah, Cameron.
Cameron, thank you. She
As
gets
in,
a
like Ferris
text.
Bueller's Cameron.
Cameron, yeah. She gets a text from Cameron. I can't do a Cameron impression. I'm sorry. I was gonna do
Abe Froman, the sausage.
I was gonna do Abe
Chicago.
Froman, yes, but I can't remember any of his lines from that.
Yeah.
So when she gets a text from Cameron, she ditches whoever they're getting to go and find him at this seedy motel, and she's supposed to bring his stuff. His stuff, whoever his is. Now, what's your speculation on who his is?
Yeah, see, that's a good question because that's kind of a cliffhanger of this episode.
And she didn't seem to have anything. It must have been in her car.
She going there presuming to meet Cameron.
Right.
But I don't think she's meeting Cameron at all. I think she was meeting someone else.
Well, I'm sure there was someone else in that room.
Or someone else, like she thought she was meeting Cameron, and then someone else got there first.
Right.
And was waiting for her.
Right.
So who was waiting for her?
I don't know. It's not Sebastian, obviously, because...
No, Sebastian's gone.
Right, he's out.
Yeah, because he and Liv have a little throwdown.
Right.
Yeah.
And who's his? I mean, unless Cameron got scratched in the meantime.
Right.
By Sebastian.
Which is possible.
Right. So there's all these variables here, which I'm wondering about. But... this does not resolve the murder. The murder is actually resolved by Liv.
Right.
Which I find completely interesting. Sebastian, who became Sebastian long enough to go visit his aunt, apparently ran out of brains long enough to go nutso while he was visiting her. She bumped her head and asked Sebastian to bandage her. And he went like blood crazy.
Yeah.
And ate her brains. And this was, we saw Aunt Edna on the morgue table. And this was his Aunt Edna, and who he references later when he breaks into Peyton and Liv's house.
Right.
So he's gone to Peyton and Liv's house. He says, "You made me kill her. You turned me into this." When really he was going to kill Liv. I mean, what?
Yeah.
She's not the bad guy here.
Well, to be fair, Sebastian, his head did meet a propeller of a boat.
Right.
And he got a little chewed up in the process. So maybe he's not thinking as well as he should be.
Yeah, true.
So he might have got a little scrambled up there.
A little bit, yeah. That's true. But still, he's the bad guy in this situation, not Liv. Right. He does appreciate that she has a lot of spices in a house, which I found a little amusing. And
he hogtied Peyton up.
Yeah.
Which was another hey now.
Was that the other hey now?
Yeah.
So yeah, he knocked Peyton out, and Liv finds Peyton on the ground and unties her, I'm guessing, because she gets up halfway through the fight.
I escaped somehow.
I think she unties her while she's down on the ground and Sebastian is cooking. Sebastian's cooking. They have a bit of a monologue, and he blames her for the fact that he had to kill his Aunt Edna, when she is completely blameless for that.
But she was already blaming herself for creating, when she found out that Sebastian was still alive.
Sure, of course, because she's a good person.
She's like, oh my God, I created a zombie.
Because she's a good person. But really, it's all on him. If he hadn't been trying to kill her in the first place.
Well, nobody asked Sebastian to go kill his aunt.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
Nobody asked Sebastian to try and kill Liv either. I mean, well,
or did they?
They did, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. If he hadn't been...
Because remember, Sebastian worked for that Max Rager guy.
I know, but if Sebastian hadn't been trying to kill Liv, which is a horrible thing to do, he wouldn't have been made into a zombie. So it's all on him, really. Right. That's my thought, at least. So, F you. F. I said F.
Yes. So is it maybe that Max Rager guy met Sin in that seedy hotel room? Or was it Blaine?
Could be Blaine.
Because Blaine is into music. Maybe he has
maybe he knows
unrevealed connection to the Ass Hats.
Right.
That we don't know. That name just
It's hard to say Ass Hats with a straight face. It's just hard to say it. I mean, it's cool, but...
Coming up next on BBC America, the Ass Hats.
Yeah, that's funny.
You like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now opening, and I'm not kidding, this was actually a tour. So, Rob, please leave this in. Now, opening for Hole, Prick.
That's the band Hole.
Yes, and the band Prick.
Yeah.
And then closing the show out will be the ass hats. So, yeah. So, okay. So here's how it ends up. She finds Peyton. She is distraught.
Yeah.
She and Sebastian have this monologue, and it ends up in a brawl.
Yeah. Liv throws down with Sebastian.
Yeah, and they
She
both
goes
go into full-out zombie.
Full zombie, yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're both shoving knives into each other. I mean,
Yeah.
just shoving knives into
And
hands.
Liv wins.
Yep, Liv goes through her hand, which she has already been stabbed in, into Sebastian's brain.
Which was a good move.
Oh,
she's
wow.
she's definitely figuring out her zombie physique
Right,
and how to use it.
right.
as
I mean,
a-
she's not going to die. She's not
Right.
really hurting.
Yeah,
from
so
this.
she's thinking, like, okay, I've got this body, so I could do this kind of move where he won't see it coming because
Right.
my hand's in front.
Right. So she stabs him through her hand right into his brain. He's gone.
Right.
Unfortunately, however, Peyton watches this whole thing, watches her eyes turn
Right.
red, watches the fight, sees that there's hardly any blood, finally figures out maybe there's something different about
her
Liv.
roomie. Yeah, and unlike last week's episode, this was not a hallucination.
No, it was
Even
not.
though Liv was taking stoner brains at this point.
Yeah, I think it had
They have
worn
fakes.
off. When they go
Yeah.
full on zombie, I think the whole brain.
Clears out,
I think so.
maybe.
So, and I think they get themselves back after they go full on zombie. I think that takes
It's a purge.
right
Yeah.
because she's back to live as soon as it goes away.
Could be. Yeah, it could be.
So she talks to her and she says, "Okay." She prepares her. First of all, I'm never going to hurt you.
Hmm.
And she tells her exactly what the deal is. There are zombies in this world, and I'm one of them. And she says, I'm going to get you something to bandage up your head. And when she comes back out, Peyton is
Gone. Head for the hills.
right. And one of the side stories in this episode was that Ravi and Peyton were going away to San Francisco on a vertigo vacation, which is
Poor
awesome.
Rocky.
And Ravi looked amazing in that suit.
Yeah, he was all like, I'm going to do Jimmy Stewart. Should I do Jimmy Stewart? I don't know. And then he's like, okay, I'm doing Jimmy Stewart suit.
Yeah.
And we're going to go do this vertigo thing.
Right.
And he's there all alone.
Right. But Peyton
Peyton is a no-show.
didn't show up.
Yep, you got rejected.
Yeah. But it wasn't his fault.
No, but he doesn't know that.
Right. And here's the question. Peyton had a cut.
Ooh.
So,
Is she going to go full zombie?
I don't know.
Or at least, yeah, zombie?
Yeah, and at least
Let's see
she's...
them. But then we can have zombie roommates. It'll be fun.
And at least she's with Ravi. So,
Right,
Ravi understands.
right.
Ravi can try and help her.
My girlfriend's a zombie.
Right. And Ravi has more motivation now to find a cure,
Right.
if that's the case.
But here's the thing, though. Then they won't be able to have sex, presumably. Because...
He can wear a full body condom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that would be
as has been
difficult.
established, there's a zombie is a sexually transmitted disease.
Right.
As
So-
what Blaine, thanks to Blaine.
It would be difficult, yeah.
Yeah, that would be an awkward relationship.
Awkward.
Awkward.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, we've
And then there's the whole part with Major as well.
Major. Holy crap! Again, I don't know how this guy continues to function.
He's
at
going to
all.
learn the secret.
Well, I don't know how he's not dead yet.
Well, he knows there are zombies now.
That's his superpower, is not being killed.
That has to be.
Something like that. Because yeah, he poses as a health inspector to get into Meet Cute,
The
which
dumbest health
he figured out
inspector.
last week is where Blaine's hanging out, and the Candyman.
Right, but he's already had a run-in with the Candyman, so why go in there as the health inspector?
Well, he wasn't going in there to meet the Candyman.
It doesn't matter if he was in the back or something and he saw him, the jig would be up.
Unless he was like waited until the Candyman was out. I don't know.
I guess. Still
But
dumb.
It is, well, it's Major.
Dumb.
Yeah, and then after doing that, he goes off and he's like, I'm buying guns and ooh, a grenade. Hey, that's sexy. Let me grab one of those.
And then all for naught because
Yeah.
there he is strung up like a piece of beef,
Yep.
which he kind of is.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
all
on
me.
you.
That's all me. Yeah.
Yeah, but and then he's like left in the freezer.
Yeah, and now he knows that Liv's brother has applied to work there.
Yeah, because Blaine is like, "Hey, would you like to accept this job as a delivery boy for Meet Cute?"
Now,
Say, Major, guess what? He's accepted a job as a delivery
yeah,
boy.
but he doesn't know the connection between Major and Liv.
Or does I would think he would know by now.
Do you think? I don't think so.
I would think so, because I would think that Blaine would do his research on Liv.
I don't think he has any idea they're connected in any way.
Okay, he just seemed like he was deliberately
Yeah,
saying
he's trying
really
to get
loudly.
something on Liv.
Okay,
Some blackmail on Liv, or some way
Right.
to get Liv in his pocket.
but I was thinking that he was talking really loud so that Major would hear deliberately.
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I guess we'll find out.
I think just Major heard it, and that's what we're trying. We're
Okay,
seeing that Major heard it.
all right.
I don't think he's made any connection between Major and Liv.
Yeah,
That it's just going to be an interesting turn of events there.
we shall see.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Okay.
So, what do you give this episode?
I give this episode 8.5 out of 10 slices of brain pizza.
Gross. I give it.
Because Clive was digging the brain pizza with mushrooms.
No, he wasn't. He was not digging it.
Well, that's true. He didn't dig it, but
No,
he went for it.
he went for it. And what did I say about having a pizza party without me? He says. Clive is real close to figuring it out too, I think.
I would think.
Yeah, he's
Because
finding out, not figuring it out. Finding
No,
out.
he's just bumping into certain situations, and if he starts connecting the dots, like Major did,
Right. Well,
He sh-
all he has to do is run into his boss doing
Right.
something, eating brains or something.
yeah, I'm curious when that's going to come to.
There are literally zombies on
Eh.
every side of him,
Mhm.
and he still doesn't really have an inkling. So
Zombies be everywhere.
zombies be everywhere. So I give this one 9 letter jackets,
Okay,
and I didn't mean
of which you have one.
of which I have. I didn't mean to bring it up during the episode talk. Actually, I didn't mean to. That was just a naturally occurring
That's good.
phenomenon.
You're sharing. That's a good thing.
Yeah, thank you.
You're opening up to us. That's good.
It's very freeing.
Let's see. So I hope everybody gives Kieran the love right back.
Please. Shut up, you.
Well, if I shut up, it's going to be a very one-sided podcast, now isn't it?
That's right. It will be.
Okay.
And I don't want to just talk to myself. That's
Uh,
bad.
Okay. Well, you do have Papa Midnight to
I'm
keep
going to talk to you.
Okay.
He wants me to talk to you, too. He
Yeah,
says
okay.
no.
All right.
So next is Daredevil, Speak of the Devil, episode 9. And speaking of the devil,
Yes. Written by Christos Gage.
well, he's
and
not
Ruth,
the devil.
Ruth Fletcher Gage. Christos Gage is actually a Marvel Comics writer. So this is...
Oh, yes, I know him. I know
yeah.
of him, sorry.
Yes. Yeah, he's written a lot of Spider-Man and some other things, so...
Cool.
Yep. So we got a Marvel Comics writer writing
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
That's
yeah.
excellent.
And it's not Brian Bendis, which is surprising.
He doesn't write everything.
No, but he writes a lot.
He writes a lot. You're right.
Yeah.
And he's
so-
very good.
But to be fair, he's busy with his Powers TV show.
Yeah, which
So,
I'm not fond
Not,
of.
I would think the money wanted back is Daredevil. But,
Yeah.
but he does own Powers, so
Yeah.
I would think that's his baby.
The
and
comic book's so much better than the show.
It is. I think the show would have worked better as an animated series,
Yeah, I agree.
but that's just me.
Yeah. And I like his comics way better than
Right.
that
Mm-hmm.
thing. Which
Yeah.
is why we don't talk about it anymore.
Yeah, that kind of fell off the map, didn't it?
It
okay,
did.
So Daredevil.
So speak of the devil, and the devil is
Yes.
going to be Fisk in this case for this
Mhm.
episode. And I have to say, the main reason I like this episode is because we got a Shogun versus a ninja.
Ye-
Hello?
Or is Matt a Ronin? Because he's a Ronin is a masterless samurai.
Yeah, but he looks like a ninja, so I'm just going to call him a ninja.
Well, you said a Shogun. So that's
The
a little
other
different.
guys. Oh, you're talking about the other guy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
he's-
well, Nobu is a
Nobu?
ninja because
No,
he's part of the hand.
Yeah, but he's wearing red.
Yeah, so it's a red ninja clan. The hand is a ninja clan.
Ninjas have to be invisible.
Well,
All right.
maybe against a red background. I don't know.
All right. So he's the ninja, you think?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so he's a ninja.
Nobu is a ninja.
Okay, he's wearing like a shogun outfit though, with the weird.
Yeah, but it's just red and drapey.
Okay.
That's all.
He'd be a horrible ninja.
It's a cult. It's like a cult more than anything.
I know.
So a ninja
Ninjas are
cult.
supposed to be like
they're not
silent
just
and-
all black and everything. Yes, I know this.
The drapey clothes would so totally go against that silent thing.
Right.
You could hear him. You know that, right?
Well, because he wanted to be heard. Yeah, he's not like.
What is this bizarre segue that's happening right now? Can we maybe stay on point?
See that clip could be played about 5,000 times in this episode.
I know. I
So we
just
have
thought
to-
it was
we
funny
have
right
to use
there.
it sparingly.
It was
because
funny there though, right?
It was.
Okay.
It was. You got to time that.
Yeah. I'm not
Wait
going to
for-
use it all the time.
Okay, even though you could.
I know,
us.
I could use it all the time. I could use like every 2 minutes for us.
Pretty much.
Okay, so that fight was amazing. And I just looked it up earlier. Charles and I were talking about the fight and whether it was done in one take like the hallway fight. And I looked it up on a site that discussed Netflix things, and it ranked it as the number 2 fight of this series. And of course, the hallway fight being number 1. And I have to agree, so far, since of course I haven't watched past this episode, I have to agree that this was amazing. It would have to come in second in my mind, so far at least.
Having seen all the 13 episodes, I would tend to agree
Okay.
that it is the second best fight.
It was amazing and gross, and that's what made it amazing. I mean, I loved how he's throwing the throwing stars at him, and he's blocking all the throwing stars with his little bow
Right.
sticks, and
Yep.
it was great. And then that hook,
Yep.
it was like a mace, but with like this weird like bottle opener thing on the end of it. It was cool. Well, it
Yeah.
looked like a big bottle opener with the hook and the.
There's
Ugh.
actually a name for that. Hold on. I'll
I'm
tell
sure
you.
there is, but
Yeah.
you can tell me. I'll speak while you look it up.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. But
So that whole fight kind of was interspersed throughout the first part of the episode until we saw the culmination of it in the latter part of the episode. And while we saw pieces of that, we saw the bulk of the what's happening now. And that was happening after all this.
right,
Does that make sense?
it does.
Okay. So we were seeing, here's what's happening now, and then we're going to see this fight later on in the episode. And here's what's happening now is they were talking about the building that was getting condemned, where Fisk and his people were going to...
His crew.
yeah. Even though it wasn't linked to Fisk, but they were trying to link it to him.
Right.
So they were going through this chain of people to try and link things to see where it led.
Okay, I've got the name.
Okay, what is it?
It's a Kaio Ketsu Shogi.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
Or Kyo Ketsu Shogi.
Can you
So-
put that on the Facebook page?
I could.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, put that on there.
So just leave that open.
Yeah. I will.
Okay.
So there we go. So we all learned something new today.
That's excellent. I'm into ninja weapons because I play one
Yeah.
in WoW.
Okay.
That's my main character's a rogue.
See, I play one in real life, but not. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
whatever. she all wears
I'm
all
not-
black. She
Yeah.
wears all black and she has daggers and she stealths and she backstabs and she throws bombs and
Smoke bomb.
yep, smoke bombs and she gets
Smoke
away.
bomb.
Yep.
Yep.
She's very cool. But anyway,
Yes.
again, I could play that sound, but I'm not going to. So while they're playing this fight, in between, they're talking about this building, and it's Okay, you'll have to give me the names. The newspaper man,
Ben Urich.
and Foggy, and Karen,
Yeah.
and Matt, all talking about how they're going to trace all this stuff back to Fisk and link it all together. Because in the last episode, Fisk came out as this great guy trying to save Hell's Kitchen, and now they're going to have to do something else to link him to all this bad stuff.
And Ben was going to write this big expose article, and then he's like, oh, crap. Deleted.
Right. Which I don't get. He could have kept it, and then they could have put the evidence in.
All you have
later.
to do is hit the save button. You don't have to hit the delete button.
Right. But he's a dummy.
Bonehead.
So they're trying to link all this stuff together with Tully, who's on, and I love this description, on an island that's so far away they have to make calls with coconuts.
Coconuts, yeah.
I love that. That was great. And I immediately, of course.
They're on Lian Yu?
No, they're on Gilligan's Island.
Oh, okay. Or Lost Island.
Or Lost. Yeah. So I just love that description. And you have to believe that probably Tully is just completely gone.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, he's just a front now. He was around at one point. But now he's been taken out.
Yeah. So Ben's all Mr. Depressing because he's like, well, I was going to write this article, but I decided not to. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when you want me to play this, isn't it?
Yeah. But Karen's all like, well, we might have another angle we could go. And then she rattles off like, by the way, did you happen to know that most of Fisk's income comes from Confederated Global, the conglomerate that originally tried to keep us, tried to retain Matt and Foggy, and the parent company of Westmeyer Holt, the company that hired Tully's thugs.
Right. So they're trying to connect all these dots back to Fisk in order to connect him to all these dirty dealings.
Yeah.
But of course he's hidden all this, and his money guy is now incommunicado. And, because they know, Fisk knows that they are going to try and get in touch with him, so he's keeping him out of the limelight. And they're just not going to connect him to anything. But at least they have a hope at this point.
Yes. And we're not talking the dead zombie rat.
No. We're not talking.
See how I did that?
I see how you did that.
Yeah.
I see you're connecting the two shows.
It's all connected.
I see. Even though one of them's DC and the other one's Marvel, they're
Crossing
living together. That's right. Dogs and cats living together. Mass
it's
hysteria.
the multiverse.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
DC and Marvel crossover with the lightning in between.
Pew, 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 pew.
I kind of like that DC Marvel crossover. I have all those issues. So, okay, so they're looking for all this stuff, but in the meantime, Matt has decided he's going to go and talk to the girlfriend and get a little of the background. Now, who would they pick to go talk to the girlfriend who runs an art gallery?
Yeah.
The blind guy.
Whoops.
Duh. Although it is interesting how he makes it plausible. I've had some guests over who say I really could use some decoration.
Well, to be fair, Matt is good with the ladies.
He is good with the ladies. And he's good with her.
Right. They have a surprisingly good chemistry together.
They do. Until, of course.
Until old spoiler sport Kingpin shows up.
Yeah, and that was great, by the way, where like everything slows down like $6 Million Man almost. Right. And you can hear him really like foggy through Matt's hearing, like through a blanket almost. And you can see Matt gripping onto his pole.
And he clenches a fist.
Yeah, big time.
He clenches his left fist like, okay, I'm so tempted to like deck this guy right here.
Right.
It's going down right here in the gallery.
Right. And I don't know if we're supposed to make the connection that the painting she shows Matt is like how he sees things. Are we supposed to make that connection?
I don't know, because Matt does ask her to describe the artwork to him,
Right.
and she talks about it and how it's like this one piece is all full of vibrant reds
And fire
and fire and everything, and he's like, I don't know, that's a little too intense for me.
Right. But it
Now,
is how he sees things.
Right. But maybe that's why, because that is how he sees things, so maybe he doesn't want to be reminded of that.
Well, he's not there to buy art anyway.
No, he's not.
So he's going to turn it down. But
Yeah.
I was just wondering if that was some sort of a thing, like
Metaphor.
Yeah, like the painting that Kingpin buys is, something
Right.
to his childhood as well. So it's like she can sense something.
Yeah, she's good at picking out artwork for people,
Right.
which is why she's an art curator.
Right. And then she takes him right to this picture that is just like what he sees. And for a minute there, I thought she was going to take him to like a blank spot in the gallery, like where there's no wall in front of him, and just play a gag. Yeah.
I don't think that's her.
No, but I know. I just thought it would be kind of funny, like an SNL sketch or something. It would have been funny, but you know what I'm saying.
Blind guy humor.
Arr, arr.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I just thought for a minute,
Yeah.
But
then, of course, Kingpin shows up.
Yeah.
And he's all like, "Oh, Mr. Murdoch, yes, I know of you."
Yeah, there's a little bit of tension. Well, number one, because Matt looks to be like he's hitting on his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And there's that tension, and he says, I was just asking her what I should buy. And Fisk says, oh, well, that's easy. Just buy whatever she tells you to. Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. Yeah.
And then Matt says, well, I guess I shouldn't be talking to you because we're kind of in a litigation with you. And then he excuses himself politely.
Quickly, too. He's like, woo. Check,
the time.
No, he's blind.
Right.
Like, oh, gotta go.
Yeah. Oh, the time. Yeah. Looks at his blank wrist. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
And off he goes.
Yep.
And he leaves. So I don't know if he learned very much there, but
Well, he does, because earlier in the episode there was the whole conversation with Father Lantom.
oh yes,
And
those were really great.
And Lantom, like Matt finally takes Father Lantom up on his offer of, hey, come over for a latte. That was back in episode 1. So he's like, okay, how about, can I take you up on that offer? Okay, so they sit down, they talk, and Matt has some very ethical issues that he wants to run past the Padre here.
Right. Well, he doesn't want to really kill anyone.
No, he doesn't, because he asked the father if the devil exists. And Lantom talks about this, like when I guess he was overseas or whatever in Rwanda, seeing this horrible genocide, and that basically confirmed for him that the devil exists.
Right.
And then, Lantom asked Matt if he could actually kill the devil.
Right.
So that's the big moral dilemma there.
Right.
So
and he says something to the effect somewhere in the episode is, are you asking this because you're not sure whether you can if you need to, or if you don't, or if you want to and can?
Right.
And Matt doesn't know the answer to that question, at least not yet.
Right. Now that attitude changes after a certain someone is no more.
Yeah.
In a very sad moment, we say goodbye to who?
And Angelica, is that her name?
Elena.
Elena.
Elena Cardenas.
Oh, yes. I was very sad about this.
Cardenas. Yeah. She was such a lovely character, so of course
I
it hurts
liked her.
like it hurts like hell that they killed her
Yeah,
off.
yeah. Now, Matt didn't even really know her, but
No,
it's his soft spot. Kids,
yeah,
ladies, elderly.
yeah. She was someone that was being taken advantage of
Mhm.
by like the crappy that Tully guy,
Right.
her landlord,
And he
and
does,
forced to live in this dump, and that's
he
why he and Foggy.
experiences the extreme pain that it causes Foggy and Karen.
Yeah, he empathizes.
Yes. And that's when he decides, and it's somewhat like, I don't know if you watch Person of Interest.
I have, but I fell
Okay.
out of it.
You
Yeah.
won't know this then. But after Carter dies, in Person of
Spoilers.
Interest, this is
I
2
know.
seasons ago now.
I know. We talked about that last week. No spoiler
Yeah,
warning.
I know.
Go right ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, we're well past spoiler warning on this one. John and Shaw go out looking for her killer, and it's they're showing people pictures of the guy who killed Carter, like bloody pictures. And they're just like, they're beating people up, and then as they're on the floor bleeding, they're like shoving this picture in their face. And it's a silent, it's silent. You can't hear their footsteps or the beating up or anything, but there's a Johnny Cash song playing over it. So it's
Which
a very
song? Do you remember?
it's not a one that you would know off the top of
Okay.
your head, but it makes a
might.
lot of sense. Well, no,
I'm a
you
bit-
might, but
I'm a big Johnny Cash fan. So I
yeah.
might.
At some point I'll link it to you. It's very
Okay.
stirring, the
Okay,
scene.
that'd be cool.
People know it if they watch Person of Interest. And this was similar to that, even though you could hear the beating up where they would switch from one person to another, where he was just going down the line of, well, I'll go to this person, and then this person would give up that person, and then that person would give up. And then he goes to the house and he finds her purse. And, he's shoving that little packet of, I'm guessing it's like heroin or crack or whatever it is, in the person's face. And it was very similar to that scene. If they had played like a song over the top of it,
Right.
it would have been very much like the scene. But I'm glad they made it different. And it was just stark, him going from scene to scene, beating people up, and you could just see the
Yeah.
anger coming off of him in waves. And he just beat this guy to a pulp and makes him, and the guy was like totally a crack addict, like his teeth were all screwed
Meth.
up, and
Yeah. Because Matt was following this trail of drugs,
right.
and that trail, of course, leads back to who? Nobu. Because Nobu's, part of he's all connected with this this heroin.
Right. I'm guessing his faction is the drug trade.
Yeah. Now the heroin. Well, this is like the heroin that Madame Gao's people oversee the packaging of.
Right. He distributes it. Right.
Right.
Is that
and it's something like that because and it has the symbol on top, which may be familiar to Marvel Comics readers as the Steel Serpent, aka Davos, the Steel Serpent, who is one of Iron Fist's arch enemies. So we're kind of teasing a little bit of Iron Fist down the road, maybe.
Maybe he's coming next season.
Defenders, or is that Defenders when they all team up?
Interesting.
Yeah, so just little Easter egg there for Iron
Nice.
Fist fans.
Nice. Or they could have just thrown it in to make comic book geeks squee.
Maybe. But I got to think that's deliberate because we know those characters are going to team up at some point.
Oh, sure.
So, and they've done the whole thing with Stick and the Sky thing.
Right.
So it's a coming.
Yeah. Well,
Down the
I'm
road.
sure they're going to throw many other people in to this show.
Right.
Daredevil's got a lot of foes and a lot
Yes.
of collaborators.
That's easy for you to say.
We going to have Elektra next season?
I'm hoping. I got to think we're going to get Elektra, we're going to get Bullseye, we're going to get the Hand more because Elektra is part of the Hand.
Right. Right.
So
Deadpool.
yeah. Well, No, we're not going to get Deadpool.
No?
Deadpool's off making his big budget motion
Yeah,
picture
that's
starring
true.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
So he's busy.
I know. Ryan Reynolds, such a cheater. Green Lantern, Deadpool,
Yeah.
that's just wrong.
Well, the Green Lantern thing didn't work out.
Still, you're not
So-
supposed to play both sides of the fence.
Come on.
I don't see
That's-
Nathan doing Marvel stuff. Except, yeah, I do. He was in Guardians of the Galaxy, wasn't he?
Yeah, well, Joss
All
Whedon
right.
was gonna direct Wonder Woman until he ended up directing the Avengers. So
All right.
it happens.
You're right. So, all right. So he goes on this beating up spree. It's not a killing spree. It's a beating up
Right.
spree. And he
Pummel spree.
pummel spree. And he finds the guy, and the guy takes him to Nobu.
Right.
And of course, it's all been set up that it's going to lead him to Nobu. And
It's a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap!
It's a trap.
I wish I had that sound effect.
Admiral Akbar, yeah.
Yeah, Admiral Akbar, of course. I should
Yep.
cue that up. Every Star Wars sound effect.
It's a trap.
It's a trap!
So,
So yeah, he makes it to this warehouse.
and this is where we get the beginning of the fight that we saw at the beginning of the episode.
Right,
So we get to see how it all started.
right. He finds the blueprints, which he runs his fingers over. And of course he can't read it, but he can kind of feel that they're architectural drawings of some sort.
Well, the ink is raised, so he can get a feel for it.
Right. I'm assuming he can see that it's like building.
Yes. Yeah, and he can recognize that it's
Schematics.
Hell's Kitchen,
Right.
most importantly.
And he is. Do you think he might have taken them with him? Well, you've seen all of the episodes, so.
Well, he does make a hasty exit, so I doubt it. I
Okay.
don't think
So he
took
doesn't
these
then.
things with him,
Okay.
no.
So he and Nobu have this knockout, drag down fight, and
So
I mean that literally.
it's on.
It is violent and it is bloody, and if you are squeamish in the least,
Namby Pambies.
yeah, don't watch it. But
Yep.
but seriously, watch it.
This is why Daredevil's on Netflix.
Right.
And this is what Arrow probably would like to do but can't because of
Because it's on
network
broadcast TV.
limitations. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a brutal fight. And I have to say kudos to the people that make Daredevil, because this is the most realistic looking fight I have seen in a very long time. The wounds on him as they appear on his stomach, on his back, they are amazing looking. If this fight was done in one cut,
Mhm.
it's crazy good.
Yeah.
It might not have been though, because it is broken up
Right.
throughout the episode.
Yeah, I think so.
So, but even still, it's just amazing, because there are parts where they fight and the wounds actually show as he's making them,
Right.
and I can't tell. It looks like they're being made right then.
Now, did you catch that Nobu references Stick
Yes.
during the fight? Because
Right.
he's talking about how Stick taught Matt, quote, our ways.
Right. And he says, well, you've learned from him well, or something like that. And then he has the gall to say, it's been an honor to kill you, or something like that. And I'm like, what a dick.
Well, he's talking about how has someone worthy to fight.
Yeah, I know. I get that, but still, it's a
Yeah.
dick move.
Well,
You don't
yeah.
announce that you're gonna kill the dude, right?
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, I get that.
He's not a nice man.
Now, the things that I love about Daredevil, in particular, he knows when Nobu is in the building.
Yeah.
He's standing there looking at the paper, and he stops, just completely still, and he starts to hear the heartbeat, because he's slowly speeding his heart up.
Mm-hmm.
And he hears his breathing and everything, and he talks to him. And I'm wondering Why does Nobu not catch on that this guy has like super
Enhanced senses.
right? Because he has to know at this point that this is going to be an asset in a fight between the two of them, right?
Right. Well, see, this is Matt's secret advantage.
Right. But
That he has these heightened senses.
he actually gives this away to Nobu, where he says, "You slowed down your heartbeat."
Yeah. It was kind of remember, at this stage of the game, Matt is not very good at being a superhero.
He's not. I get that, but Nobu is not that good at being a villain either, because he doesn't pick up on it, and he doesn't get that it might be handy to Matt down the line.
Yeah.
So he uses this to his advantage when he senses that there's like a gas leak. He puts Nobu right under it, and
You think he would smell the gas, go like, "Oh, that's bad."
you'd think, and he catches the dude on fire,
Fire.
and he burns.
Fire.
And he was waiting for his entrance, Fisk.
Yeah.
And he comes with his two goons, his one bespectacled goon and his other heavy.
Yeah. Hired goons.
Well,
Hired
they are
goons.
hired, aren't they?
I know. I just remember the Simpsons episode.
Oh,
It was like, hired goons.
Hired goons. So Wesley and Bruto or whatever the other guy's name. I don't know what his name is. He's not Wesley, that's for sure.
Well, and Kingpin walks in and he's like, it smells like extra crispy.
Yeah. Well, he thanks him for taking care of Nobu. When really he was hoping Nobu would kill him. He just pretends like.
Well, I think Kingpin saw it as a win-win because if Nobu won, Daredevil's out of his hair. Well, what there is of it.
The
'cause
mask.
there's no hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What
Yeah,
there is of it. Yeah.
bald head.
He
Yeah.
might have
And-
hair.
Yeah, and if Daredevil wins, Nobu's away.
Right.
So therefore,
And
hey,
Nobu was getting on his nerves.
so there's more of the pie to go to me.
Right. And not just that, but he was demanding that block.
Yeah.
And now.
Well, for a very specific reason, which
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering, because they have hinted at this Iron Fist connection.
Right.
I'm wondering if it's a dimensional, like secretly, like a location of a dimensional portal to the mystical realm of Kunlun, which is this other dimensional martial arts realm where I guess there's only an interface with the planet Earth every 10 years.
Oh, so next season would be the 10-year, right? Is that what you're thinking?
Presumably. Well, I'm just wondering, yeah, that they're building up to this, either for Iron Fist or the Defenders.
Yeah, that's cool.
So maybe that the Hand is behind trying to open this gateway.
Well, there's
And that's
more
why
of
they-
that organization other than Nobu, so.
I understand that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So they're probably going to come for that block.
I'm thinking that block's a definitely important piece of the puzzle here.
Right.
Because they wouldn't have been like making such a big deal of the blueprints and all this.
They really wanted that block.
And like, I really want this block.
Right.
Well, okay. Well, then you're going to have to fight for me against Daredevil.
Right.
Oh, excuse me. The Masked
The
Vigilante.
Masked Vigilante, yeah.
Yeah.
What, you mean Batman? No, sorry, wrong. Wrong comic book.
The Arrow? What?
Huh? What? So
The Hood.
this is, again, this is where Fisk comes in and confronts him and thanks him for killing Nobu because he was a pain.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, he kind of, goads him.
Mm-hmm.
And, Matt he is really hurting. He has been cut. He has been hooked
Yep. Sliced, diced.
horribly. He is horribly hurt. He's got internal bleeding, I'm sure. He is in bad shape.
Yeah. So what happens?
But he still makes threats because he's a badass.
Right.
And Fist says, "Give me your best shot. Come at me, bro."
Yeah, exactly. Come on at me, bro. Bring it. Come on.
And so he does.
And what happens then? He gets the ass kicked out of him even more.
Yeah. But
'Cause
you
the
know what?
Kingpin-
Matt gets in a few shots, though.
He does.
I was
but-
surprised.
Right.
But
But ultimately, because Matt is not at peak condition,
No. Not
and the
even
Kingpin's
close.
just like, All right, I'm good. Let's go.
Yeah.
I've
I
been
did
wanting to do
like
this.
that he managed to get a cut down his suit
Yeah.
so he doesn't look so good. And Matt manages, before Wesley can take him out, to jump out the window into the river, and they see him swimming off into the sunset, which is nice. And then Wesley says, "What about Nobu?" And Fist says, "Let him burn."
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yep.
Ouch. And Karen and Foggy are still trying to do all this, and Foggy is gonna go after they've drunk at the wake.
Yeah. Well, because Foggy's drunk.
As
And
Foggy's want is to show up at Matt's apartment when he's drunk.
Again, yeah.
This is like his third time, right?
Yeah, and it's like, the neighbor getting pissed off. And
Right. And he's not only is he knocking, but he's like kicking the door. He's doing all this stuff.
Matt.
Right.
Matt,
and he hears thunking.
Yep.
So he goes to the other door, which is open because apparently that's where Matt got in.
Mm-hmm.
He went to the roast.
Side door.
Right.
Yeah.
And he goes in, and he's got Matt's cane, which is not gonna hurt anyone. And he says, "I'm gonna take you out." And he sees
if you use it right.
Yeah, but Foggy's not gonna use it.
No, Foggy's not a fire. No, I agree with that. But
so he sees the masked vigilante on the ground, and what do you want? He's gonna confront him and everything, and he looks, and oh wow, this guy looks kind of familiar, and he pulls
the mask off.
Oh my God, it's Matt.
Uh-oh. Dun, dun, dun.
So, yeah, that's where we leave this episode. And it got spoiled for me when I looked up on the fights that he's going to...
Yeah, the next episode, Nelson versus Murdoch. Nelson v. Murdoch.
Yeah, that he's going to take him to Claire.
It's
it doesn't say he takes him to Claire, but he does.
Well, I love the next episode.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. It's a good one.
I shall watch it first thing in the morn.
It's everything you'd want in a Matt Foggy confrontation after Matt's been withholding his identity.
Not just lying to him, but Foggy is no lover of the mask.
Exactly. So there's a lot to talk about.
They've got a lot of baggage happening.
Plus, Foggy's a little drunk, so he's got that. Yeah, it's...
Oh, that can't be pretty.
No, it's not pretty at all.
I'm going to have to get some sound bites off the show.
It's a glorious train wreck. Yes, you are.
With Karen in them.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. So what did you give this episode?
I gave this one 9 out of 10 Catholic lattes.
Very cute. I like how they have a really nice coffee maker there at the church.
They do.
Very cool.
Yep.
One of like a barista level coffee maker.
Barista, yeah.
I give it 8.5 in Rampagements.
Nice. Archer reference.
Yeah. I thought you might
nice.
enjoy that.
I respect that. Yes, definitely.
Okay, so you have some news you had told me.
Yes.
Well, first of all, before you go on to that.
Yeah.
For anyone who is interested in some news, not only does Charles have some news, but I have, and yes, it was me. You can tell because I made some editorial comments, which were definitely Karen Styles.
Gloriously. So.
Yes. I have put some news on our Facebook page, so please go there. And thank you for liking our Facebook page. We got several people liking our Facebook page over the last week. So thank you.
Keep it up, guys. You're doing good.
And that Facebook... Go ahead.
I was just going to say, we could use some more listeners, too.
That's right.
So, yeah, keep that up, too.
So our Facebook page is facebook.com/Fandom Zone Podcast. And what's your news, Charles?
Do we want the good news or the not so good news?
Good news first.
Good news first. Okay.
Save the bad news for the very last.
Okay.
Because I know what the bad news is.
Okay. Now you may have some news as well, but this is what I had.
Okay.
I had just a few things. Robert Kirkman talked about his upcoming show, Fear the Walking Dead.
Stupidest name ever.
Yeah, I agree. But he was talking about how Fear the Walking Dead is not a prequel.
Yes.
to The Walking Dead.
Mhm.
He's talking about it's actually a companion.
Right.
And here's the interesting part that I thought was of note. The new show will eventually line up with specific episodes of The Walking Dead.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and
So they'll be
apparently
concurrent.
apparently there's an episode in season 2 of The Walking Dead and season 3 of The Walking Dead that are going to be directly referenced.
Hmm.
Or as far as like we're going to see a different perspective.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, on Fear the Walking Dead. I'm wondering, now this is just me speculating. Remember those helicopters on The Walking Dead
Yes.
that were just flying around Atlanta and
Yes.
stuff? And everybody's like, oh, there's a helicopter. We never got an explanation for.
No, so we'll get the explanation for these.
I'm wondering.
And
if-
maybe something to do with the CDC?
Maybe. So, well, the CDC was season 1.
Oh, so they're saying season 2.
Yeah, season 2 and season 3. Apparently, there's an episode in
Okay.
2 and 3. But
Well, even still, there might be
yeah.
some talk of the CDC. Why is it gone?
Yeah, maybe. But so yeah, I thought that was interesting,
Very
and
cool.
that's my speculation of the day that it's the helicopters. But we'll see.
That's awesome. I did have that story, but not to that depth. So
Right.
thank you.
You're welcome. Turns out that rumor you may have heard of Jason Statham being Bullseye in Daredevil season 2. It's not going to happen.
Yep.
Nope. So there's differing rumors on what happened. Some people say that once word leaked out on Latino Review that Statham was going to take on the role, he dropped out of negotiations, or Marvel decided, oh, we're not going to go with Jason Statham. Or I would think, why would you stop going after Jason Statham?
Right.
Because this is the transporter. Okay. Yeah, it could be money. I agree.
He's saying yeah because I'm making the money symbol.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, she's
This
doing
is
the
a
money sign.
podcast.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, So it's not quite transferring over to the audios.
No, I could have made it
Audio
right
waves,
next to
yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But money, 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 money. Yeah, so it could very well be that. Because I got to think he would be a huge budgetary expense,
Yeah, big.
even for Netflix.
Yeah.
But it would have been cool.
So no.
So it's sadly not happening.
Yep, I have that story, but it is also paired with a story about Supergirl and Fear the Walking Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay. See, she's on it. Karen is on it.
don't worry about it. I like
Okay.
I like adding to these stories. So
Okay. I try to get what I know, and if I,
bring them up.
you can, yeah.
I like
you can
saying
learn
it might have been
learn,
money.
Learn more
Yeah.
at the Fandom Zone Facebook
See,
page.
and the story that I added my little comment to was
Yeah.
Luke Mitchell was up to series
Oh.
regular, and I said hot.
Hot.
And then I
with
put-
with a W.
Yes, and then I put yes, it's Karen posting this. I wanted to make sure that people knew it wasn't you posting it. So you're welcome
Oh, I appreciate
for
that
that. Yes.
because
And-
he's hot.
Yeah, he is hot. I'm sorry, he is, and that's definitely my inner cougar showing.
Yeah. Now, I forget which character he played. That was the new Inhuman guy.
Lincoln. Yeah.
Lincoln, the electric guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So I have some bad news.
Yeah. Well, first let's give our contact info because we're gonna
Yeah, that's-
close the show with the bad news.
Yeah, we're gonna close the show with some bad
Let's
news. but
do the happiness here.
nothing involving the Fandom Zone podcast.
No.
So
The bad
we don't
news
wanna-
has to do with
don't freak-
comic book shows.
Yeah, don't freak out.
No.
But,
You can reach us on Twitter at FandomZonecast.
mhm.
And you can email us at fandomzonecast@gmail.com. And of course, the Facebook page, the aforementioned Facebook page. And please tell your friends. Please. Tell
Yeah,
them.
we could definitely use more listeners. So yeah, we got our May numbers, and they're kind of like consistent with the April numbers. So we'd like to grow
We
this
want to go
up.
up. Yeah.
We want to go up. I know it's getting summer, and you're off doing stuff, and you're busy. But if you're outside, hey, there's a wacky thing called an iPod or
Put
your
them
phone.
put us in your ear holes.
Yeah, just
What does it take?
the MP3 possibilities are endless here. So,
We want to be in your ear holes. That's
Hey
what I
now.
say. That's what I say.
you know, oh yeah.
That is getting a lot of views. Too
Well, this
much,
this
probably.
week, this week, yeah,
Yeah.
probably. All right.
Okay, so there's all that.
Mhm.
You can find me at Elevaria, and my About Me link is in my bio, where you can find all my links. And you are.
I am, of course, on the Facebook. I'm on Twitter at Charles Skaggs and Instagram at Charles Skaggs. And Google Plus for all you crazy kids on the Google Plus.
I love that.
And my blog of geeky things, Damn Good Coffee and
And
Hot. Yes, where I'm going to be talking about lots of good comics on TV stuff and Doctor Who and
And
all
what is on
kinds
my
of
shirt?
fun things. And yes, the Karen symbol for caffeine.
It is the atomic symbol for caffeine
Yep.
on my
She's-
T-shirt.
So she's a little revved up.
No,
Today.
I just love this.
Where,
Shirt.
where you're caffeinated with a coffee.
Yeah, and I have coffee too. But it's weak
So-
sauce coffee.
So essentially, what you have is damn good chemical symbol for caffeine and hot.
It's lukewarm now.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but, yeah.
Well, you know where I was going. With
Yes,
it. Okay.
it's like
so,
your blog on my boobs. It's my shirt. You get it.
Okay then.
Okay, so our bad news. Now we've gone from the absurd.
Yeah. So now we're gonna just completely shift gears.
Yeah.
And,
Unfortunately, we had
yeah.
some bad news this week.
We had some bad news. We had a death in the family.
Yes.
For those of us, you old school, awesome people that followed us regularly on our previous podcast, Dangerous Habits, the Constantine podcast. Sadly, word came out, I noticed it on a couple of sites earlier today, that the TV show, the NBC series Constantine, is now officially dead. This is according to showrunner Daniel Cerrone. He posted a whole little, little, I don't know, summary, or at least a little, epitaph almost. But he did say that the cast and writers are being released from their contracts. They weren't able to find another place that would pick up the show. So screw you, NBC.
Yeah, I agree.
So dicks, but
Yeah.
yeah,
They're the worst.
yeah.
They're actually
so-
not the worst. Fox is the worst.
Fox is the worst, but now NBC's up there.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad, NBC, when you're playing on Fox's playground.
I can't hate Fox. I can't hate NBC too much because they did hold out with Chuck
Yeah,
for several seasons, but they're pretty bad.
that
even
was
still.
not cool.
No, not cool. So yes, we have to say goodbye to Constantine and hope that the people on Constantine move on to other projects that suit them. They all were very talented people, still are. They deserve any success that they get in the future, and we're sad to see them go.
Yes, we are. Let's just hope that Matt Ryan gets to reprise John Constantine somewhere down the line, because he was an awesome Constantine.
I agree. If there's a movie made, we hope that he gets cast.
Yeah. If Guillermo del Toro ever gets around to directing
Yeah.
that kind of Justice League Dark movie, Dark Universe that he wants to do,
Yeah.
but has been scheduled way off because he keeps getting other cool projects to do.
Yeah.
If that ever happens, I hope he casts Matt Ryan.
I wouldn't be surprised if on Arrow they didn't hire Matt Ryan to do something on the show.
He may not play John Constantine, but
No, but he is very much loved
yeah.
by the people over at Arrow.
Stephen Amell, to his credit,
He tried to.
props to Stephen Amell. He offered to guest appear on Constantine as the Arrow.
Right. If CW would pick it up.
Yeah, if CW would pick it up.
Yeah.
They didn't pick it up.
I know. Dumb.
Dumb.
Just dumb.
So, but at least it was a grand gesture.
It was.
So
It was. I gotta say kudos to Stephen and Mel for going out on a limb like that. That was great. But I wouldn't be surprised if Matt showed up on Arrow with something, or just walked in the background in his trench coat.
How great would that be if like he was sitting at a bar somewhere in the background, just smoking a cigarette, or and then just a little
Or
Easter
just,
egg,
cheers, mate.
in the trench coat, and just how great would that be?
That would be awesome.
But
Steven bumps into him and he goes, "Cheers, mate," or something like that. That would be fantastic. But anyway, that's sad news. We won't be talking about Constantine in the fall, but we're kind of glad we rolled this into the fandom zone so that now Charles and I have this platform to talk about all the other comic shows. So
yes, so we lose one, but we're gaining Supergirl, we're gaining Lucifer. Hey, wouldn't it be great if Constantine showed up on Lucifer?
Hey,
there you go. Come on, Fox.
Yeah.
But we'll see if that happens. But wouldn't it be great?
Yeah.
And then we're also getting Legends of Tomorrow.
That's right.
So we're
gonna
have
to do 2 shows a week. You know that, right?
This is gonna be. I don't know. What we're gonna do.
We're gonna have to do 2 shows a week.
You're gonna be so sick of me.
I'm not sick of you. I could talk to you every day, Charles. You're amazing. It's true.
You're sweet.
So, yeah.
So we don't want to bring you down. We're
our
sorry.
brains are going to explode now.
Yeah.
There's so many things for us to do in the fall, but Constantine will not be one of them, unfortunately.
Yeah. So smoke them if you got them. Raise your pint glass.
Yep. And dump another drop for your homie.
Yeah, exactly.
For your mate.
For your mate, Constantine.
And as a special tribute, we're going to play out with the theme to Dangerous Habits.
Yes.
So
we'll see you next time, hopefully with much more happier news.
Yep.
And let's take care, everybody, and bye, Constantine. We miss you.
Bye. Bye, everyone.